Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here once more, and this is something I saw in an exhibition whereby the subject of the diorama was built into the base, which I thought was a very good idea. So this is my version of it. So we've got a very deep bomb crater there with two shops at the back. We've got a cobbled area where my half track would sit quite nicely. So a very small diorama, it wouldn't take up very much room, but very effective. I don't really think my scratch built Sherman would suit. I think it might be just a little too big, but well, it's okay. Video coming up for how I made my cardboard Sherman very soon, in the next week or so. So please stay tuned. While we're on the subject, please subscribe to the channel. You'll be informed when new videos come along. Come in a little bit closer. As for this, the rest of the video will be how I went about making it. Okay, so let's make a start then. What I normally do is make the diorama and then at the very end make a base for it and stick it on the base. This I'm going to have to do it the other way around, because the base is an integral part of the diorama. I'll have to do the base first. So I've got 5 pieces of 1/2 inch polystyrene. It's the kind of polystyrene that you can stick with a hot melt glue gun without it melting too much. It does a little bit still, but it does stick it a lot better. So the base, the bottom part of the base of the diorama is just as is, and then I've cut away where the bomb crater will be in ever decreasing sizes. That's the word I was looking for. And I didn't have enough, so I've had to cut up some offcuts to make up the top part. But it doesn't matter, because I'm going to put a piece of cardboard on the top anyway. That way. That there and that there. So that makes up the 5 sections of the base of the diorama. So the side of the front of the diorama, when I stick my card along the front, will have that cutaway in it to reveal the bombed crater there. So a tank there, a house maybe, something at the back there. But that's generally the shape of the base of the base. Are you getting all this, or am I just talking to myself? I don't know. I hope you're following all this. There will be questions and answers at the end of this. So I'll stick all these bits and pieces together, put the edging all the way around with this cutaway in, and then I think you'll see what the hell I'm talking about, hopefully. Okay, so I hope I've made myself a little clearer than I did last time. So I've gnarled away at the polystyrene to give it a rough look down in the bomb pit, if you like. Put a piece of card on the top, 2mm card on the top, and then surrounded it with a 2mm frame, and then just cut that front out. So all this will be cobbled as usual, and I'll put 1 or 2 shops, maybe just one shop along the back there. So I'll give it a coat of white wall filler, watered down as usual, ready for the base for my cobbled area. Do that, and then come back and we'll start on a shop. So this is where we're at the moment. Done the cobbled area. Usual thing, I made the frame of the base of the diorama 2mm taller than the polystyrene that I made it from, which gave me the shuttering then. So with a steel ruler I could just sweep it across when I laid my grey grout on the surface there, just sweep it over, and I knew it would be 2mm thick, which is about what we need. So waited half an hour, and just until if you use a steel ruler, if you lay it on top of the grout, it will stick. It'll be a horrible sticky mess. So once you've waited long enough, about half an hour, 45 minutes, when you lay your steel rule on and it doesn't stick, there's no stickiness anymore, you can sort of pat down on the wet, still wet grout, and it won't stick to your fingers. So at that point then you can start to mark out the cobbles one way, like so, all the way across. And then I use a pencil, actually, a sharp pencil, just to mark out the other bits to make it look like that. Then after about 2 hours, so before the grout actually dries, I just go around with a sharp stick and sort of round off each of the cobbles, so they're not square. It's just when obviously when you draw a line that way and a draw a line that way, they're going to be square cobbles. But if you just round the corners off, it just makes for a more realistic cobble, I believe, anyway. And now this is the next day when everything is completely dry, and I just put a little tiny bit of dry brushing over the top, bit of white, bit of burnt sienna, just to give it a little bit of colour, not too much, I don't think is required. As for the bomb crater, I distressed the polystyrene, which is easy enough to do with a sharp stick, and before it was dry I put some more grey grout over the top, and it kind of mixed in with it, and I thought, oh, this is not going to be good. But it dried it dried very well. It looks like a bomb crater now, whereas it didn't before. So I'm going to leave it like that. That's as good a bomb crater as I could ever achieve, and it was purely accidental, really. It was just mixing the wet wall filler with the wet grout. Are you with me? So I'll leave that like that. Maybe a little bit of dried grout powder later. So there is the bomb crater and the road. Now I've got another piece of card that will be the pavement for the two shops I'm going to put there now. That will just sit at the back, and that just a slight step up onto the pavement there. Then I've made just a very simple shop front and sides, with window sills and a bit of moulding around the shop. I'll put some kind of signage on the front of the shop there. This will be just a very, very simple thing. Doors there. I'll paint that a different colour, and the windows, I bet that's the wrong way around. Yeah, would be, wouldn't it? So I'll slide that in, and that will be my window frames. Again, a different colour, with an acetate on the back, or any see-through packaging that will do for a window. So again, I'll cover that with white wall filler, and then give it a coating of something or other. It'll be a grout, of course. I'm Mr. Grout Man. Somebody asked me what I used, and it's in Thai, because I live in Thailand. But it's called USA, but it's called Crocodile Silver Premium Plus. So I'm sure this must be available probably worldwide, but with different lettering on. But it's just a powdered grout, that's all. There's nothing special about it at all. This cost me the equivalent of £1, and it lasts. I make dioramas pretty much full time now for YouTube, and this will last me 1 or 2 months. You just need a very, very little bit of powder and a little bit of water, and it goes a long, long way. So that's all I use. Costs next to nothing and lasts a long time. So that's one of my shops there. That will go there, like so, with the window and door. And then because of the bomb crater there, then the shop next door took the full hit. So that's going to be part of the shop next door, and then that will go at the back there. So again, I'll rough up the surface of the polystyrene. That's all it is, polystyrene clad in 2mm cardboard. That's all. And that will make the wall of the back and side of what remains of the back and side of the shop. Okay, so I'll carry on with those things, put a roof on this one and a bit of a roof on this one, and I'll come back and we'll see what happens then. Okay, so finished the project now. The 2 shops all finished. So I put a coating of, well, it was a cream coloured grout, believe it or not, but I put a little bit of black paint in with it, maybe a little darker than I wanted, but that looks okay. And the windows I used clear acetate, but then sandpapered either side so that it's not see-through. So opaque, is that the word? And then a smashed window in the shop down there. Put the signs on. I know it's supposed to be a French scene, Normandy, but the only thing I'd got was an American type bodywork and mufflers and God knows what. It's the only signage that I had that I could stick on there. I think I've mentioned before I've got 2 printers, neither of which work. So I'm not going to buy another printer. So difficult for me to download shop signs. Okay, the other one obviously bombed out there with the exposed brickwork on the back and sides. Just a case of PVA glue and sprinkling on my homemade bricks and mortar that you've seen me make before. But the whole point of the exercise was the integral part of the base being part of the diorama, which is what I rather like. I think it's a really good idea. It's not my idea. I've seen it in an exhibition of dioramas, and I just thought it was a really good idea. So with my half track on there, I think that sort of finishes the scene off quite nicely. That looks okay. My scratch build Sherman, I think maybe a little too big, overhanging the edge there. Not too bad, but I think maybe just a little too big for this. How I made my cardboard scratch build Sherman will be coming soon. Watch this space, and I'll show you exactly how I went about making it. But until then, this is going to have to do. So I think this may be a better size. We can actually see what's going on in the background there. So there we go. One deep, very, very deep bomb crater, integralized? No. As part of the diorama base. So that is the subject. Thank you very much for watching this video, if you've got this far, and I'll be making more in the future. Now that I'm very nearly monetized, I shall be making lots more. So please subscribe to the channel. You'll be informed when new videos come along. So in the meantime, have a go yourself. If you do have a go, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll be interested to know how you get on. Any questions, any comments, please do so. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video, and as always, happy modeling.